Hello my friends, welcome to another 2 Girls 1 Up ASMR video. Tonight we are going back to our origins, back to Magic the Gathering. Magic was the very first game that got us into trading card games and just collectible card games in general. It is a bittersweet relationship that we've had with Magic. It really helped us get through the COVID times, mostly because we would play at home. It would also be the time where you would have those amazing products like the Double Masters, and it was just amazing to get copies of Force of Will, the Blood Moons, etc., Jace, the Mind Sculpture, like all of the very classic cards that just are so powerful, and as a Magic player you really want to get. The bittersweet part of it comes from that so-called era of game pieces. Magic and, well, Wizards of the Coast, driven by Hasbro, have essentially overprinted the product to the point that the cards that we had and that we paid for good amount of money during the COVID times are actually now probably worth less than 50% of its original cost. I have to admit that the Universes Beyond is very appealing to me in particular because there's so many IPs that Wizards is now finally getting into. And I believe that they have done so in a way that has kept the Magic flavor itself. So, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, we have been super excited to do, and just to get to open some of those super cool dinosaurs, and of course remember that 1 in 12 boosters in the set box includes a Jurassic World car. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Now, I also came back to the origins because now we are celebrating that we have over 500 subscribers, and I just want to thank you all for this amazing time that we have spent together. And I want to thank our new subscribers as well as our old subscribers and the people who keep commenting in each video, because we absolutely love connecting with you. I know that Cordelia has been one of our friends, same with Risk Ever 1. Singh has also been like always on the Yu-Gi-Oh comments. It's been amazing. Jay Gray, Sean K. Thank you so much, guys, because you really make our days with your comments. And if you are new and you're joining our community, please feel free to say hi, leave us a note. We always read you, my friends. I know that there's several others of you who I haven't mentioned, but I'm going to add you all in the video, and I just want to give a sincere thanks to each and every one of you, because you really make this poster box and these pack openings a lot of fun. And we're going to have some news regarding those 500 subscription rewards. So there's some really fun stuff coming. Please keep an eye on those community posts. All right. Well, I guess it is time to get us into some Jurassic ASMR. Sit back, relax, and let us embark on this sensory adventure together. here we have the treasure trove box stopper. So we're going to be opening this last. And now that we're talking about origins and TCGs and everything else, tell us, my dear friends, what TCG got you into the game, the community, the collectible card game scene in general? I know for me, it was Magic for sure. I knew of Pokemon. I never really got to play it a lot when I was a kid. However, I know Nyx did, so I am always interested in knowing your answers. Alright, so we got... oh, very nice. So we already have a gold card. So... Unstable Glyph Bridge. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it for each player, choose a creature with power 2 or less the player controls, then destroy all creatures except creatures chosen this way. Very nice. The artifact. Oh, very nice. We got an Inti Celestial of the Sun. Look at this artwork. That is pretty cool. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card, and when you do, you can put a +1/+1 counter and target attacking creature. This is fantastic because it gains trample until the end of turn. So if you want to make one of those stumpy rule decks, Inti is a great card. Got a Somber Standard, Canonized in Blood, so very vampiric, and of course, this is a black card. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. I have to admit that descent is not a mechanic that I know. Bartolome del Presidio, very cool. Malicious Eclipse, Abrade, Disruptor Wonderglyph, Cockwork Wrestler, Thousand Moons Crackshot. Oh, wow. Look at this artwork for the lands. So this is what a basic island looks like. That is fantastic. That really puts in some swag to your in your commander or in your deck in general. Look at this super sweet art. So this is Oh Chair Tak Deepest Foundation. Oops. Very nice. That is right. The set boosters actually have these art cards. Well, let us continue, my friends, because these are some really fun packs to open. I am very much looking forward to getting something like Galta, but of course everyone would want a Galta, right? Okay, so Whale of the Forgotten, a Thighting Blade, Jade Sidstones, interesting. Oh, an Earthshaker Dreadmaw. It's a dino with trample, and when it enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other dinosaur you control. So a card that you would want to have for any dinosaur commander or just deck in general. Rampaging Ceratops, Dusk Rose Reliquary. That is some interesting artwork right there. Walk with the Ancestors. I am going to be doing this. There we go. In the Presence of Ages. Didact Echo. Very nice artwork. The Basking Capybara. Super cute. And then look at this, like the plains. This is, you're essentially looking at Machu Picchu right here. Very nice. And here we have Restless Prairie. Super cool. I am gonna go real quick through the previous cards just to separate the commons from the rares. go. No mythics yet, but of course we've only opened 2 packs, so we are too early in the game. There we go. Let us keep going, shall we? Now that we're talking about dinosaurs and Jurassic Park, who remembers when Jurassic Park came out? I mean, that was a long time ago. I was a kid, but that movie just really just changed the course of my life, and I will tell you how in a little bit. Now, this is an amazing card. It's like it's foil, but the drawing itself is just, the contrast of the color is fantastic. So this is a Dimir. It is a legendary creature, skeleton horror, Ben Bak, the Great Mistake? I don't know. Vigilance and Menace. It is a 5 mana cost, but it's a 6/4. And here, let me appropriately change that angle. Uchenbach, the Great Mistake. So yes, it was a mistake. You can return it from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Activate only if there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, and only as a sorcery. Of course, this is graveyard play, and it's awesome. We got a Jade Light Spelunker. When it enters the battlefield, it explores X times. So you essentially reveal the top card of your library. That's pretty neat. And look at this, we got a Rampaging Ceratops. The nice art. A Careening Minecart. Very nice. Very Indiana Jones. Mephitic Drought. Glorifier of Suffering. Oh, I've met some people like that. Malamet Veteran. Poison Dart Frog. Look at how cute this one looks, but it's got rich. Of course, it's a dart user. And so this is actually pretty cool. It serves as a mana dork, and you can also give it that touch. So very cool for those sneaky players who like playing with that touch. Nurturing Bristleback and a Hidden Volcano. Land. Very cool. I have to say that I was very impressed with this. Bembak, the Great Mistake, is just so pretty looking. Okay, my friends, let us keep going. So, going back into the Jurassic Park. Well, something we haven't really told you about is what we actually do for a living. Of course, we love opening packs and sharing the polls with everyone and, enjoying the game and discussing the mechanics. But I actually am a geneticist. And so how is that actually connected to Jurassic Park? Well, if you remember, and here we have an Ojur-Caslem, Deepest Growth. So one of the gods, which I am super happy to see again. This one is a 5 cost, a 6/5, and it is a creature that has trample. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library, and you can put you may put a creature card and or a land card from among them onto the battlefield and put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So that is really nice. You're essentially like checking what's coming and choosing, so you can plan ahead your moves. But when it dies, you return it to the battlefield tapped and transform under its owner's control. And so what does that transformation look like? A Temple of Cultivation. It is a land. and you can actually transform it again into the god. So there you go. A land that works essentially as a creature, or rather the other way around, a creature that works as a land. So that is pretty neat. Now, one of my favorite color combos, a Gruul, a Gawali, the Seething Tower, a Fungus, Council of Echoes. This kind of reminded me of the Wakanda, the newest movie, Wakanda Forever, and when they fight against the, the sea people. That was super neat. That Mayan-based civilization, child of the volcano, and another hidden volcano. Yes, so just going back to what I do for life and regarding Jurassic World, well, I am a geneticist, and I don't know if you remember, but there is this scene in Jurassic Park where they explain how they essentially used the genome of, I think it was like a bird or a lizard, I don't remember exactly, but they use it to complement the DNA sequence that they had isolated from that mosquito that had that DNA. So that just left me enthralled, and at that point in life I'm like, well, I want to be a geneticist because I also want to clone a dinosaur. Let's see what else we got, and I'll keep talking more about the genes and all that stuff. Okay, here we have a map. So for those of you who are familiar with the different cultures of the world, these actually looks very similar to the Aztec calendar. So our neighbors to the south here in the US. So I'm going to show you a picture of that so that you can see where the inspiration came from. We got a Sentinel of the Nameless City. That is pretty sweet. Vigilance, a 3 mana for 3/4. That's actually pretty good. We got a Roaming Throne. War 2, as it enters the battlefield, you can choose a creature type, and Roaming Throne, it is the chosen type in addition to its other types. So we can make a roaming dinosaur golem. Clayfire Bricks, Synapse Necromage, very nice. A Fungus Wizard, Tendril of the Mycotyrant, Fungus Wizard, look at that. I just love the way that Magic comes with all of these different mechanics, ideas, and I think that this is something that not many other games have been able to replicate at all. And that's why I think, even though some people, particularly collectors who were going after these big ticket items, are now angry because a lot of those big ticket items have been reprinted so many times that they have lost a lot of that value. I think that the game piece era, if you want to call it that, it's beneficial in a sense because it allows you to enjoy the game as it is. Rather than trying to hoard all the product that you can. Now this is something interesting, and I think if I were to see this at night or walking on a park, I would just die right on the spot. So this is a death cap marionette. That is amazing. So cool. Okay, so we got a spirit token. And we got a treasure map. When you tap it, by paying 1, you can scry 1. You can put a landmark counter on treasure map. Then, if there are 3 or more landmark counters on it, remove those counters, transform treasure map, and create 3 treasure tokens. And this is how you transform treasure map into a land. You can also use it for card drawing. Very cool. Now we have an angel. Oh, wait. I was thinking it was an angel, but it is actually a siren pirate. How does that even work? Siren pirate. I thought that he, she, they would at least have, flipper. Interesting. The spring-loaded sublates. Ruin lurker bat. Deep cavern bat. Well, that is interesting. A soul coil viper. I really enjoy this art. That's very neat. Melamed scythe. Dino automaton. Relics roar. Oh, another card that was inspired by some of those pre-Columbian or pre-Hispanic cultures, and I'm going to show you the picture. How? One of the gods from the Mayans and the Aztecs, named Quetzalcoatl, the winged snake. Well, this set has been a ton of fun to open. This has been so good, and just the artwork is exceptional. I think that all Magic artwork is just gorgeous from the very, very beginnings. It's just so cool. Screaming Phantom. Corpses of the Lost. Look at this. It is an enchantment, and it essentially pumps your skeletons. Gives them the +1/+0 and have haste. When Corpses of the Lost enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 black skeleton pirate creature token. And at the beginning of your end step, if you descend at this turn, you may pay 1 life. If you do, return Corpses of the Lost to its owner's hand. Very neat. Oh, guys, look at this. We got the Ancient One. A legendary creature, a spirit god. Descent 8. So if you descend 8, the Ancient One can't attack or block unless there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard. And then if you pay 4 mana, you can draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a card this way, target player mills cards equal to its mana value. Sneaky, sneaky. This is a gorgeous card. Very nice. Alright, here we go with the silvers now. Ooh, this one is pretty brutal. Hurled into history. Confounding riddle. Volatile Wonderglyph, a braid, another Wonderglyph. Oh, I am in love with this art, my friends. This is a forest, basic land, and then just look at how pretty it looks. It's gorgeous. And then here we have, what would this be? Locus of Enlightenment. Interesting. That looks, it's like a mask almost, but no, I mean it's an artifact. Looking forward to knowing more about the lore of this set. Okay, what else do we have? We have this, essentially, it's like Cybertronic chicken, almost looking like obviously some kind of dinosaur, but once again, genetics has shown that yes, dinosaurs and birds are related. Evolution can be tricky sometimes. You rule the world one day, and then a few thousand years later, you become a chicken. Here we have Pelanis Hatcher. Oh, nice. We got a Cycloraptor. This artwork is super cool. Eaten by piranhas. That would be a terrible way to go. Forgotten Monument. Vanguard of the Rose. Copwork Wrestler. Staggering size. Look at this giant capybara here. That is so funny. Oh, we got another poison dart frog. Very useful. Nurturing bristleback, Dinotomaton, and a foil version of Hidden Volcano. Alright, let us put some order in these cards now. And as you can see, I'm using a new mat that we actually got during some of the Black Friday sales. How did your Thanksgiving go? How did your Black Friday go? I always call it the biggest retail therapy day in the year. Alright, here we have, oh yeah, that fungus sorcerer wizard thing. Oh, and unfortunately did bend this a little bit on the side. Okay, let's keep going. Out of air. Fabrication foundry. A lodestone needle. Glimpse the core. That is so cool. Spelunking. Have you ever gone spelunking? I have never tried it, but I am super curious. A greedy freebooter. Look at that. So this set is pirates and sirens and skeletons and dinosaurs. It's just so cool. Hidden nursery. Alright, not a hidden volcano, but a hidden nursery this time around. We haven't come across a Jurassic World card. But obviously we have a lot more packs coming. Oh yes, so this is similar to that artifact that we pulled earlier on. Very interesting. Okay, so here we have copy, rumbling rock slide, a molten collapse. If you descended this turn, you may choose both instead. So destroy target creature or planeswalker, or destroy target non-creature non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. Huh, that is very useful indeed. Calamitous Cave In, the Scampering Surveyor, Bat Colony. Of course, what you would expect to find in a cavern. Merfolk, yes, so Sirens, Merfolk, Merfolk Scout. Wow, so we got like a lot of Merfolks on this. At least 3, 4. Well, that was interesting. Merfolk Scout, Merfolk Scout, a Merfolk Scout, and another Merfolk Scout. And now here we have the gorgeous, gorgeous plains with the different illustration. I love these cards, so pretty. So what do you think so far, my friends? Do you like the set? Do you like the mechanics that you're seeing? Please let us know in the comments. We're always happy to read you. Here we begin with a treasure. Self-reflection, always good. A Kalpakal, the first among equals. All right, another interesting part of history, my friends. Pakal was actually the name of a Mayan emperor. And there is this theory that the Mayans had some, alien intervention or guidance. So Pakal, in his tomb in Yucatan, actually has this illustration where he is depicted kind of like laying down, and the interpretation was that this is the tree of life and Pakal was coming out of it. Well, legend has it that one NASA astronaut once visited the south of Mexico and saw that particular illustration of Pakal. And do you know what he said? That is a representation of what astronauts look like when they're taking off in the spaceship. And he even contoured the spaceship in which Pakal is essentially sitting and traveling. You could see the fire underneath it, and then you could see Pakal's hands pushing and pulling levers. Very interesting theory. So I am glad to see this name here. Here we have some of the silvers. Bartolome del Presidio. Well, you can sacrifice creatures to make him stronger. Vito's Inquisitor. Wow, that is a name that I haven't heard in a while. We made a Vito deck in MTG Arena, and it was the funniest thing ever. Because for every time you won life, then your opponent would lose life. So that was really interesting to play. Relic's Roar, Rampaging Spiketail, Acrobatic Leap, Burning Sun Cavalry. Oh, this is so cool. Captivating Cave, very captivating. And look at this. Basking capybara just in the jungle, enjoying life. I wish I could be this capybara, let me tell you. And I just noticed that my gloves have gotten a little bit of that ink of opening these packs for some reason, so that is interesting. Oh, very cool. We got an art card that has been signed by the artist. So this is super neat. And maybe one of the things that you're asking yourselves right now is like, well, why does Sakti know? Oh, and this is actually from another expansion. So I think that one of the questions that you may be asking yourself right now is, how does Sakti know all of this stuff about like the pre-Hispanic and like old civilizations and stuff? Well, I had a wonderful, oh my gosh, look at this. So Palanis Hatcher, very cool. But we got a Soyowa Lavatongue. That is super cool, like Goblin Warlock. I dig that art. Contested Game Ball. Once again, another piece of history that is actually based in ancient cultures. The ball game that essentially developed into what we now know as soccer, or as we know it in the rest of the world, football. Think about that one for a little bit. We'll revisit that one. Football. Oh yes, so what was I telling you? Yes, I was saying, why does Sakti know so much about like these old civilizations? Maybe you haven't heard about them, maybe you haven't heard those little like history details. Well, when I was in school, I had a wonderful and amazing and very dedicated history teacher. And he was the kind of person who would teach you from experience. He had traveled to Greece, he had traveled to Egypt, he had traveled to all these pyramid sites in Mexico, in South America. He knew what he was talking about because he was there. And he transmitted that same passion to us, to his students. And I just did a lot of reading and research, and his classes were incredible. So we would know and discuss all of these things, and that's how I know it. Teachers can be a wonderful driving force in your life, and I am very grateful for my teacher. Alright, well, this looks absolutely stunning, like some jewel. Ixalan, deepest growth. Didn't we just pull? Yeah, we just pulled this guy. That's Ixalan. Very interesting. Here, let us pull him back up. I guess I can see now where it's coming from. But definitely an amazing card to have. I am personally a loving Gruul player. Yeah, I think that you can tell. Here we have a Bartolome del Presidio in a different art style, different illustration. I think that you can tell a lot about people by what they play. Oh, a Chupacabra Echo. Very interesting. When it enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. That is nasty. An Abyssal Gorestalker. Thousand Moons Infantry. Very neat. Burning Sun Cavalry. Panic Altisaur. Soaring Sandwing. And a super cool, nice illustration forest. Oh my goodness. This has been such a riot to open. The fact that I could tell you about my teacher, my history teacher, that I could tell you about what I do for a living, is just awesome. And I think that it's moments like this that really make our lives just worth living, connecting and enjoying the company of someone else that you've never met. But yet, because of your love for a game, here we are, my friends. In the entire universe, in the entire world, we're sharing this moment together. Thank you. Well, just like I treasure your company, we got a treasure token. We got a Stunch crewmate. Terror Tide. Oh. So this is very similar to that other creature that we got, where you can have a fathomless descent. All creatures get -X until end of turn, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. So, very cool for commander play. The Gargantuan Leech. That looks terrifying. The Fossilize. Similar to what we were talking about with Jurassic Park. Miner's Guidewing. Rumbling Rockslide. Oh, and look at this. An island. I think that we got that. This one was the first foil nice land that we got from this pack, from this box. Ooh, what do we have here? Another signed card, and this one, the art is just fantastic. Look at this. We have all the skeletons here. Very cool, like a pirate, like a member of an ancient civilization, and like some either vampire or sorcerer or something. This one is gorgeous. All right, Stormkill Artist. So also from a different set. Eaten by piranhas. Yeah, that was a terrible, terrible fate. Now here we have our third mythic. So this is interesting because how many packs have we opened yet so far? Maybe 12, around-ish. And we've only gotten 3 mythics. So far a very decent pull rate. And here we have one of my favorites, the Gruul. This is a legendary creature, an elder fungus. It's got trample, and the very first thing you're going to notice is 2 little stars, so let's see. The Mycotyrant's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control that are fungi and or saprolings. So you definitely want to have this in your fungus or saproling commander. The combo. And there's some really scary ones out there. So, at the beginning of your end step, create X 1/1 black fungus creature tokens with this creature can't block, where X is the number of times you descended this turn. You descend each time a permanent card is put into your graveyard from anywhere. Right there, my friends. But that was a nice... Oh, and look at this. This is our first Jurassic World card. And it so happens to be, one of those containment bays for them. What was it, the Velociraptors? Very nice. Here we are with our silvers, Cavernous Maw, the Oofenbach, the Great Mistake. Again, I have to say I love so much more the other art version. This is such a riot to open. I am absolutely loving opening these packs, my friends. I think that the number of combos and the power that this set brings is just so good. And once again, I am a Gruul player. Because why am I a Gruul player? I like trample, and I like sneakiness, and I like Garruk. Now this art card is just so funny. It's super cool. I wonder why he removed his tusks here. And this is Quintorius Cant. Very nice. I like Quintorius Cant. It's super cute. Alright, well, we go back to the fungus. A braid, a brass tunnel grinder, some murals. So this one looks a little bit more different. Now this, the way that this is being represented is also very Mayan-like. I'm just going to add a picture here in the video when I'm editing it. Seismic Monstrosaur. Wow. Disturbed Slumber. Oh, this is so interesting. Pathfinding Axe-Jaw. When it enters the battlefield, it explores. Well, that is as you would expect. Very nice. Talking about dinosaurs, what is your favorite dinosaur? I have to say that as a kid, or I would say most kids, loved the T-Rexes, but you know, they have such little tiny hands. They're kind of Brontosaurus are cool. Pterodactyls are awesome. Oh, that is interesting. So Dargo, the shipwrecker, a giant pirate. That is super cool. It reminds me, giant pirates, you know, like the ones that they have in One Piece. That is super neat. Runaway boulders, yep. Very Indiana Jones. And look at that. We got Ogre Tack. We got Ogre Castellan before. Now we got Ogre Tack, the deepest foundation. Another god. 6 mana for a 6/6. It's got vigilance. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, 3 times that many of those tokens are created instead. That is insane. because if you were to pair this to one of those like human knights decks or to one of the cat decks that are plains based, like white mana based, then your opponent is screwed. Now let us see. When Ogier attack dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transform under its owner's control. Well, what can I say? I just spoiled that and we got a Cavern of Souls. Wow, I did not expect to get one, and I'm super happy because we did not have one. So we got this super nice version. So as you know, it's a land. When it enters the battlefield, you can choose a creature type. You can tap and then you add mana. You can tap and then you add mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type, and that spell can't be countered. This is why Cavern of Souls is so amazing. Wow. Amazing pull. We got another Ukben back, which is fantastic. I love that card. Diamond Pickaxe, Careening Minecart, Malicious Eclipse, and then Glorifier of Suffering, Malamet Veteran, and Hidden Volcano. Now, my friends, I am going to grab some sleeves because that Cavern of Souls is a fantastic, fantastic pull. Gorgeous. Wow, I am super happy. We also got this Ogier attack, which I know Nyx is just going to be like, Ogier attack is mine. And I just remember that we didn't go to what it does. Temple of Civilization. It is a land. You tap it, you add plains mana. You pay 2, tap it, transform Temple of Civilization, activate only if you attack this. If you attack with 3 or more creatures this turn and only as a sorcery. So if you have an army of tokens, an army of minions, that is not going to be an issue. So you can get Ogier attack back again. That is amazing. The Myco Tyrant was also a really fun pull. Now I want to make a fungus sapperling deck. And then here we have the Ogier Castlem, which has the trample. So definitely something that you would want in a Gruul deck. And it essentially allows you to scry every time it deals combat damage. And here we have the Ancient One, which is another amazing pull tonight. Yep. 2 mana for an 8/8. Can you believe that? Awesome, awesome game. Awesome cards, and just the way that you can diversify your strategies. That's what I enjoy about Magic the Gathering. And even though many of us are not very happy to where the game has been taken, the access, the accessibility of the cards, and in a sense just the diversity of the cards is what makes Magic what it is. I don't think that you can say there's a clear meta commander deck. Every one of those decks has its own thing, and they're all fun to play. All right, well, here we go. That kind of looks like the Pocahontas tree, you know, like the face of the tree. I'm gonna call it that. Oh, look at this. We got a dirt water wraith. That is amazing. I love this style of card. This old looking vintage retro feeling of Magic. I absolutely adore it. And look at this. We got another mythic. Chimil, the Inner Sun, or Kimil, the Inner Sun? Interesting. We're going to have to search into the clarification of how that is pronounced. Well, this is why this card is a legendary. Spells you control cannot be countered. At the beginning of your end step, discover file. Discover 5. Exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card with a mana value 5 or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost or put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So it's kind of like the handicap that they give the card, but I think that is just interesting because then you can get to choose and cast it without paying its mana cost. That is incredible. All right, we're going to put it in a sleeve here soon. The Trashing Brontodon, you know, a classic dino in Magic the Gathering. Gorgeous card. Malamet Battleglyph. The Might of the Ancestors. Okay. Kutsil, Malamet Exemplar, a cat warrior. And you know who's also gonna love this? Nyx, because she loves cat decks. Very, very nice. Okay, so let us grab Chimil. Very cool. All right, well, how many packs do we have left? We have about 3, 4, 12. 12 packs left. So we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mythics, and that is, I think, half of the box. And there's a little cat here in this here, because yes, we do have kitties. All right, my friends, I'm gonna try to go over the rest a little bit faster so that we have seen several of the cards already. So I know that I kind of talked a little bit too much for this one, but I'm just having so much fun. Whoa, look at this. This definitely reminds me of the Wakanda Forever movie. Gorgeous, gorgeous art. All right, Vampire Demon. I think that's the first time I see one of those. We got a Kutsil Flanker, another cat warrior. So another card for Nyx. A Kutsil Malamet Exemplar. Yep, cat warrior. Crewmate, Spyglass Siren, Sorcerer Spyglass. So yep, another, classic artifact. Merfolk, Petrify, yes. Another classic card, Over the Edge. Deep Goblin Skulltaker. That is terrifying. Oh, the skullcap snail. That is creepy. Promising Bane. Yeah, when you're mining, you look for promising banes. Now look at this art, my friends. This is so interesting, and you know what it reminds me of? Pazuzu. Doesn't it? Right? Like, I totally think this is like Pazuzu. And it's Bloodletter of Aklasots. Wow, that is super cool. Now I'm wondering if we can pull that. Alright, we got another artifact or map. Attentive Sunscribe. Very cute. Got a Cosmium Confluence. Now this, I am sorry that I am bringing this up again, but this is going to be another history lesson, and I'm just going to put the image here so that you can actually see where the inspiration for this one came from. A civilization in Mexico called the Olmecs. Now, whoa, look at this. Admiral Brass, Unsinkable. Human pirate. When she enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may return target pirate creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. It has base power and toughness of 4/4 and it gains haste until the end of turn. That is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Earthshaker Dreadmaw in the nice art style. Caparocti Sunhorn, Soldier, Swashbuckler's Whip, or Cool Whip. Which, by the way, do you prefer Cool Whip or Ready Whip? I was told one is the real deal, the other is just chemicals. And we had gotten this art card before. I think I just didn't comment on it. It's just gorgeous. Tishana's Tidebinder. Very pretty. Alright, a fungus dino. If you can believe it, yes. Magic has it all. And that's why we play it. Squirming Emergence. Very cool. Alright. We are back to the bats. I find it funny that this is the second pack where we got two bats, one right after the other, and I think it was the same ones. And same with the Piper. Didn't we get that? Yes, we did. So I guess we can start seeing some of the way that these packs are built, in a sense. Alright, here we have like a jaguar warrior versus a dinosaur. This is Contest of Claws. Very appropriate name. Although, he's kind of cheating. It's using a... Oh, interesting. So, I remember that there were some sets that had these counters included, but I did not know that they were back into play. A Restless Prairie. Oh, pretty. I think this is our second copy now. Ooh. We got, and I know where this come from. These are the commanders. The Carmen, Cruel Sky Marcher. A vampire soldier. It's got flying. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Carmen, Cruel Sky Marker, and you gain 1 life. Whenever it attacks, return up to 1 target permanent card with mana value less than or equal to Carmen's power from your graveyard to the battleship. So that's when she can get scary. Ooh, Breaches, Eager Pillager. That is super cool. It's a 3 mana cost, so yes, you want this in your like first strike, like those, you know, the sorcery fast burn red decks. Whenever a pirate you control attacks, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You create a treasure token. Your target creature can't block this turn. That's good. Or you can exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. All are great options. We have Nikansil, Merfolk Scout. Beautiful, beautiful art. Belligerent Yearling. Very cool. The Trashing Brontodon that we've seen. Watley's Final Strike. Nice. Fanatical Offering. Acolyte of Clackla. Oh, jeez, I can't talk tonight, can I? Acolyte of Aklasots, a vampire cleric. I am looking forward to actually making a vampire commander deck. I know that Edgar Markov is one of the most famous ones and quite powerful. But that deck, that commander deck, is quite expensive these days. The Eaten by Piranhas. We've seen this card a few times already. Alright, Bad Colony. Hit the Motherlode. Alright, well. Idle. Volatile Fault. Enterprising Scallywag. Oh my gosh, this guy. Staunch Crewmate. And then here we have the commons. The Iron Paw Aspirant. Oh, that is so cute. This is also kind of like reference of a weapon that the Aztecs used. I think it was called Macahuitl, something like that. But that weapon was nasty. It was not designed to kill. It was designed to injure. Because the Aztecs loved to perform sacrifices to their gods. So no, they did not want to kill you in battle. They wanted you to be wounded enough that you could not escape, and that they could essentially sacrifice you, open your heart, and offer it to their gods as a meal. How about that, my friends? Terrifying times. But now we're all happy watching cat videos over the internet and talking with Sakti. So I am okay with that. Okay, so I think this is our third signed card. Oh, this is super cute. It looks like a kitty, and I think it is a kitty. So, Wrathful Raptors by April Prime. And yep, it says April right here. And the little cat paw, do you see it? Oh, that's very cute. Alright, let us continue. Compass Gnome. Stalactite Stalker. Huh, very interesting. Visage of Dread. Very cool. The War Scribe, so another cat warrior. Helping Hand. Dauntless Dismantler. Plundering Pirate. Very Treasure. Old Tech Archaeologist. Which is interesting because one of those civilizations in Mexico are the Olmecs. So there you go. Things in this world always get rehashed and transformed and hopefully improved. But we all have the same basis. Okay, my friends. We have 2, 4, 6 packs left. I do not recall seeing another Jurassic World card, but please let me know if I missed one. Okay, here we have the repeat of the card that we actually got signed. Gnome Soldier. Might of the Ancestors. Here, let me get closer right here. Oh, I love this. Abuelo Ancestral Echo. Abuelo means grandfather in Spanish. That is so cute. And it just made me think of my own grandfather. So, that was a very wonderful card. Alright, and this we hadn't seen before. This is a mountain in that super cool style. It's just gorgeous. Okay, let us see. Let us put things aside. Forbidding Watchtower. Interesting. I don't know which this one is from. Growing Rights of Itzquinth. Very cool card. So when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 more creatures, transform Growing Rights into Itzquinth. So, Itzquinth, Cradle of the Sun. a legendary land. Oh my god. You can add 1 forest for each creature you control, so this is pretty fantastic. Tarian Soul Cleaver. It kind of reminded me of Soul Reaver, which, you know, is just the rhyme in the name. Oh, Itzquinth, firstborn of Gishath. Oh my god, I am dying. He's so cute. Oh my god. So cute. Ray of Ruin. That is a very cool illustration. Sage of Days. Hidden Volcano. And our art. Might of the Ancestors. We've seen this card a few times now. Okay, last 4 packs. Oh look, this is actually pretty neat. Admiral Brass Unsinkable. Yep, the one that we pulled. I love it. Tithing Blade. Oh, well, I did not know that Saheeli was in this set. The very well-known human artificer. You can create a token that's a copy of another creature, of another target creature or artifact you control, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. It gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Well, I don't know how much I like that, but I know that certain versions of Saheeli can actually be really, really powerful. Petrify, Over the Edge, Captivating Cave. Down to the last 3 packs. Alright, well, we have a vampire here. Vito, Fanatic of Aclasots. Look at this. So Beto is back. I am so happy to see that. Very, very nice. I am looking forward, and hopefully we can pull him in the last 3 packs. Oh, look at this. We got another of the Jurassic World cards. Token Artifact Treasure. Very cool. I'm gonna put it over here too. Here we have Echoing Depths. We have Belligerent Yearling. Very cute small dino. Another Ukbenbag, but you know, this is just like the standard looking card. We got 3 Ukbenbags in this box. Very, very neat. Skullcap Snail. Primordial Knower. Ooh, that looks terrifying. And yes, these are the last 2 packs. Let us see what we got. Oh, Ukbenbag. So, the R card. Narfi, Betrayer King. That is actually pretty neat. Is this Kalheim? I think it might be. Oops, it goes here. The Cavernous Maw. Amalia Benavides Aguirre, a vampire scout. I love how they're giving the vampires this like Spanish or Portuguese names. Restless Reef, so a land. It enters the battlefield tapped. You can add an island or a swamp for mana. And then if you pay 4, until end of turn, Restless Reef becomes a 4/4 blue and black shark creature with that touch. It's still a land. Whenever Restless Reef attacks, target player mills 4 cards. that is actually pretty cool. That is really, really good. All right. Cenote Scout. I don't know if you're familiar with those, my friends, but those cenotes are also very common in the south part of Mexico. And they are essentially like water holes. I don't know how else to describe them. And they are interconnected underneath. So there are currents, and you can go and take a dive, but you are warned to be very careful of those. A lot of people have died in those underwater currents. Here we have our last pack, and we still have the box stopper, but this is that treasure map, and remember, this is using that Aztec calendar reference. Oh, interesting. I forget the name of this set, but I did not get this particular card. Ooh, Starving Revenant. Spirit Horror. When it enters the battlefield, so surveil 2. Then for each card you put on top of your library, you draw a card and you lose 3 life. That is tricky to control. Alright, well, it seems that... Oh, we got an Akawali. This was such a riot. It was such an amazing box in general. Just to recap what we got, I think the pull of the night is undeniably Cavern of Souls. We got Shimel, the Inner Sun, or Shimel, the Inner Sun. We got the Ancient One in this amazing art. We got Ojur Kaslem, and we also got Ojur Tak. So these 2 Ojurs are just incredible cards. They're gods. We got the Myco Tyrant, and then we got the 2 commanders, Admiral Brass and then Carmen. Now, and as you can see here, I got our newest Elspeth like shiny or like foily matte. So this is actually pretty cool. Alright, well, let's see. Oh, very nice. So I hope that once again you can understand the reference from Jurassic Park. So the 2 archaeologists, I just absolutely love this set. And as I tell you, or as I told you, Jurassic Park. Alright, let's see what we got here, shall we? I might have to bring the scissors here, and I think that the boating is done for the scissors name. So next time we film a video, we will know what to call it. Oh, look at this. We got Shimel, the Inner Sun. Very nice. Spells you control can't be countered. And at the beginning of your end step, discover 5. This is just overall fantastic. It was a fantastic box. I had a lot of fun, and I hope that you also had fun watching me freak out over the pulls, particularly Cavern of Souls. It was so much fun, and I just want to say thank you, TCG family. Thank you for being with us tonight, or this morning, or whenever it is that you're listening to us. It is always our pleasure to bring you some of these booster pack openings and to share the love for the hobby and the love for, if you want to call them, game pieces. It's just so much fun. Enjoy the game, enjoy life, be good, take care, and until the next time, ciao.